3 times is scheepsrecht, as we say in the Netherlands. I actually don't know the English quote. So the first time I started the live stream, YouTube cut it because of packet loss. The second time was the same thing. It didn't really start. And then first time I restarted the laptop and internet. Second time, first time it didn't work. Before the second time, restart laptop internet. And now I changed the internet cable to a newer internet cable, a better one. And it seems it works. So I guess the cable is just not what it used to be. So yeah, that's what you get, new cables. So what's up everyone? Good to have you here. Some action on the chart as well, right? So little bit of volatility. We do have a double top on the chart. On my chart here, Coinbase, we didn't actually take 72K. Missed out by a few dollars. It's very unlikely you're not going to take it at some time on this chart as well. Either before or after the weekend, doesn't matter. But it's very, very close. So good to have you here. Flotty, Mr. Espresso, how you doing? Seriga and Nuzly, Mark, what's up? Good to have you here. Patrick, cheers. My Jared, welcome. Perkio, how you doing, man? Good to have you here. Vrijmibo indeed. Raquel, welcome from the Philippines. Good to have you here once again. Adam, welcome. Welcome. That's innovation. By the way, for the people that are waiting on their cap and bones, if you're here, you're waiting for your shirt, everything has been brought to the post office. So you can expect a package to arrive in the upcoming either days or weeks, depends on pretty much where you live. So the people in question are Kind Profile, Fabnader, Sanagel, Tarun Mirpuri, Seriga, and maybe a Band-Aid. And then with regards to the t-shirt, that is Bones. So your stuff is coming to you. That were the final items with regards to the giveaway. So this cap will be coming your way. And for Bones, the t-shirt. So now all the items left my house. Very, very nice. Okay. I don't have a lot of time. Because also, we had some problems starting the stream, but I have to go in 24 minutes. I have to walk to the train in 24 minutes. My wife and I are going to hang out with my friends. There is a festival activity on the other side of the Netherlands where we're going with all the friends, and then my wife and I included. So it's going to be relatively short. That's also why I mainly want to focus on the structure here and the range and then some chatting and Q&A. On BitGet, we took it. Yeah, pretty sure on some other charts as well, and some other charts you didn't. So it would be nice to see all the charts eventually taking it. And from my experience, eventually Coinbase is likely to take it as well. But, before, after the weekend, doesn't really matter. What festival? Proven. It's a small one. It's a small one in Os. That is where I come from, like the area. I grew up there, and most of my friends live in that area, and they go there, and so we go there as well. Okay, I'm gonna quickly check my folders and change a thing or two so that we are prepped for the analysis. Okay. Because we're going to run through the local scenarios in today's live stream. Arguably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's always the potential for a 5 finished. Honestly, it's a little bit of a I don't like wiki 5s. So whenever I look for a wave 5 in an impulse, preferably I actually like to see a bit of a bigger move where you at least close some candles above 3 and not just a wick. Generally, when I see those type of wicks, the probabilities would be higher to think about corrective highs compared to impulsive highs, meaning An impulsive high would be the end of a 5, the end of a 3, the end of a 1. A corrective high would be like a B or an X, so you would expect to then take it again sooner or later pretty much. So I would like to see 5 a little bit higher. We still have resistance as well, 73K, and of course also the high. Oh, I removed it from my chart accidentally. I do want to keep this one on double top. There we go. I'm not going to talk about the medium time frame, so we move that one down. Oh wait, I do have to talk about one thing in particular with regards to the bearish scenario. This one. We hit I have an invalidation on the chart and we hit it, so I want to talk about it. So it's going to be quite a short analysis, and then we go into chat and Q&A, and then I gotta go, and then there won't be an update tonight, but then tomorrow we're back with a morning update. But I won't be able to do a live stream as I'm again with friends. It's a very social weekend, so I'll be with a friend the whole day, and then I might do a live stream in the evening, so Saturday evening, to still video in the morning, live stream in the evening, and then on Sunday I'll probably be able to do a live stream, but it will be very early in the day because I have people, my niece is coming over. Jeez, what a social weekend. Do we count this madness top down when dealing with Elliott waves? You can do Elliott waves, but particularly on a certain time frame. Like you can do Elliott waves on, let's say, only the 1 hour, right? And you can trade it as well. Generally, though, you tend to go from higher time frames to lower time frames. But you can. But of course, it's all about you got to identify. So you on a 1 hour time frame, if you can identify the start of an impulse, well, you can just count it. Yeah, you don't need to go to the weekly to know what's happening on the 1 hour. So yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's a beer festival. I don't drink beer, but I'll just drink whatever they have, really. Moe, how you doing? Vivi, beach prove. Beer is lekker. The beer festival. The only beer is in Belgium. Tell the Germans. Given the nationality of most of you here, you simply cannot talk about beer. Well, the Netherlands is good with their beers from a commercial standpoint. No? Okay. Instead of talking about beer, let's talk about the charts, shall we? Okay. Cool. First of all, let me get the triangle on here. So with regards to this range, we in a previous live stream, either yesterday or 2 days ago, we analyzed the range. And based on the range, the best suited scenario would be a triangle. It's definitely not an ideal structure, right? We couldn't deny it's not a clean structure, but when are triangles ever clean? There is at least a way to count it. The main issue with the triangle is your B, and your E is very small. But we have to compromise in certain areas because the other structure, zigzag doesn't work, flat doesn't work, right? So these were easily like removed from the options. And then we're only stuck with a triangle or a WXY. And a WXY to end the range here with a WXY is not really possible. Preferably with a WXY, you're ending it at a later stage. So therefore, yeah, this is currently the scenario that we have of this range. And we'll see what local price action will give us, because I'm a lot more interested in the structure to the upside now. Now, with regards to the triangle, right? The triangle ends with wave E being at this low. So it's a higher low, not the 66.6K, right? It's a 67.2K low. So for an impulse, that is where you got to start counting, no? Now, in this particular case, we then can count the wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wave 3 is short, right? Didn't hit the 1-to-1 compared to wave 1. And for the newer Elliott wave counters, trend-based fib from the low to the high of 1 to the low of 2, toggle on the 1-to-1. And you can see that this structure is bigger than this structure because we didn't actually hit the 1-to-1. However, the minimum requirement for an impulse is to not be the shortest, or wave 3 is not allowed to be the shortest. So we're counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, looking at the volume, highest volume in your wave 3. So that is nice. That's also what you like to see. And then you have 4 and 5, potentially 4 and 5, right? So that is a little bit of a question mark now. Of course, we have a high here. We got a wiki top. There is the potential here for a 3-wave structure, right? However, meaning this high now is a B or an X, but arguably there's also a scenario where you put the 1 on the current high. And then you're going to retrace looking for a wave 2. The target area for your wave 2 is not really changing, right? It's like this wick is just a few dollars above the highs that we have here. So for now, I just leave the area for 2 as it is. But in the bullish scenario, if you look for continuation up, we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, finish 1, and then look for a bigger structure to the downside. Of course, we want to see a corrective structure to the downside. 05786 is your target area, taken from the low to the first high here at the moment. 69.5, 68.2K, 382 uncommon, 886 is rare. Inside this target area for wave 2, there is one area in particular that I find interesting, which is the blue box between 69.1 and 68.6. Other than this box, there's not a lot going on below where price is at the moment with regards to support. So if I clean up this scenario and I toggle on all the levels, and for the ones, the people that have been hanging out here for a while, you know how nicely respected these target boxes are by now. I mean, look at the low over here as well. Most recent example. I should make that wide. So when I look at the support resistance areas, to the downside, I use the dailies, I use volume levels, the point of controls of different time frames as well, Fibonacci and whatnot. But to the downside, you can only see blue and red lines. You do not have a daily. There's not a daily naked point of control or a weekly naked point of control or something going on here. The main area of support is your previous range. And of that range, the value area low and the point of control are interesting because it is in confluence with the golden pocket, which happens to be the main retracement area for wave 2, at least most common, right? The 05 to the 786 is your most common area, but the golden pocket is a very common particular area for wave 2. If you lose this, there's not much left, a little value area high of this range and another little point of control, but it's not too great. All right, so that is the main area. 786 is in confluence with this volume area, but yeah, the main area of support that I would keep an eye on is 69 to 68.7, and then take it from there if price reaches it, right? And then if we do come down, and this is always important, if we move down or up, because we have resistance to the upside, as you can see, as well as over here, the double top and the daily naked point of control, I always look for signs of weakness or signs of support. In the videos, I generally talk about proof of support, proof of resistance, right? When price comes down and we do it on a high amount of volume, impulsive candles, I'm not interested, right? I want to see proof of support first. Else it's a random long here and I'll be stopped out in a few seconds. Same with a move to the upside, right? I want to see resistance. I want to see price holding. I want to see, and then whatever ... you want to fill in. CVD, market structure changes, volume to the downside, RSI, MACD, money flow indicator, doesn't really matter. So yeah, with regards to the first bullish scenario here, we are then looking for a finished one at either of the highs and then a move to the downside in your wave 2. Inside wave 2, if we pick this high as a corrective structure, there is the potential for a flat 3-wave A, 3-wave B, 5-wave C. All right, so then we now took the high here. This is a common target area for a regular flat, the one that we've hit now, but a regular flat is less common than an expanding flat, and the expanding flat target is above the double top. I put the double top in the folder. There we go. So a scenario I keep an eye on. There is a bit of a however with regards to this scenario, so I'm actually going to remove it from my chart. And the reason I do is because if we are looking for the flat in a 3-wave A, 3-wave B, 5-wave C, I don't like to see this 3-waver here. Preferably to give the probabilities towards a flat, preferably this was a 5-wave structure, not a 3-wave. And then you could get a 5, 3, 5, which is a solid 3-wave move, label it as a wave A, look for a wave B, and then a wave C. However, now we need to count, because of this structure down, right, being very much looking like a 3-wave move. I mean, we can agree on that. You know. This structure looks like a zigzag ABC. Now, therefore, we have to think about other structures forming in this range compared to a wave A of a flat. If this is a WXY double zigzag, your X hit the 0.7 fib taken from the high to the low, which is not a target that you want to hit with a wave X in a double zigzag. It lowers the probabilities. But we did. And this move up looks at the moment quite 5-wavy. So there is the potential, therefore, right, to put this wave 1 here, where this corrective structure, or this whole thing, is your 4. And then you have a final move up in a wave 5 to finish 1, look for a retracement in 2, and only revisit the double top at a later stage. It's something I at least keep in mind. Now, the weekend is coming up as well. The weekend generally is a ranging structure, sideways, boring, not much happening. If you want to know the previous weekend was this structure. Be prepared. It's not always that case, but this was definitely a weekend to touch some grass and be outside or with family and friends. So yeah, this is an area of interest, right? Potentially one finished, and then a 1, 2, 3, and a 4, 5. Oh, by the way, that makes me think. I'm not sure if someone actually noticed it. In this particular scenario, if this is the low of your triangle, this has to be the wave 1 top. This can't be wave 4 because we have overlap with wave 1. I should actually put that on the chart, but I'll do that another time. Because inside wave 1, we then have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wave 1 and 4, if you want to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, not allowed to overlap. So, okay, making that clear, this has to then be the high of 1. Wave 3 being shorter than 1 is no problem. I see it appearing in the chart. The minimum rule for wave 3 is it's not allowed to be the shortest wave. Wave 5 is shorter. So that is your minimum rule. Alternatively, we have this impulse here. Now we start counting from the low. And that's a little bit awkward because, as mentioned, this range over here, and we've been through all, like the scenarios in the other day in the live stream, I think 2 days ago, where the triangle is kind of like the best solution because the rest is just that's not pretty, has even lower probabilities. So your alternative structure is a 5-waver. Again, potentially your 5 is finished and you look for a retracement. If you're going to move below the previous low, then that is of course very likely. So then you're going to put the 5 here. Not again a fan of a wick 5. Preferably actually a wave 5 hit some solid support. Either take the high and hit the daily naked point of control, move to 73k, faking a breakout. Right, you're so close to all-time high. When you reach this resistance, how nice would it be for price to move up on some volume, fake out a new all-time high, and then move down back in the range for at least a couple of days or maybe another week and whatnot, 2 weeks, and then eventually get some continuation at a later stage. Over the past week, I already mentioned probabilities here, they remain a bit higher to continue the range. Now, of course, we're looking up as long as there's no clear indications to move to much lower prices. The probabilities on the higher time frames are towards the upside. But I wouldn't mind continuing this range a bit longer and breaking out on Wednesday, or at least see some solid volatility on Wednesday coming up, June 12th, because it's an interesting day, no? Now your wave 4 is in this case potentially in a 3-wave structure to the downside in your 4, looking for a 5-wave move up in 5, either finished or look for a little bit higher. But your invalidation now is, at least if we want to label this a 1, 2 for then a 3, 4, 5 in wave 5, price is not allowed to take the low, so easy invalidation. But as you can see, we are counting towards an end of an impulse where it's going to be interesting to look for some retracements to the downside as well. The weekend is coming up, starting a wave 3. If this is your 1, 2 and then a 3 right before the weekend would be a bit awkward. It's not really something you see a lot. And also counting this wave 1 and this the end of your wave 2. Wave 2 is very shallow, didn't even hit the 0.382 fib from the low to the high of 1, which generally is regarded as a minimum target for a wave 2, and it's not even a common, it's an uncommon target. So therefore the probabilities are not great for this to be your low already for a wave 2. So therefore the probabilities are higher to still look for a retracement to the downside, either directly or first take the double top and hit the daily naked point of control, which in my opinion would actually be nice to also take it on the Coinbase chart. We have the daily naked point of control here as well at 72k, plus we have some resistance above which could fake that all-time high breakout, right? Maybe even before the weekend. That would be an ideal scenario, but that is just something that I would like to see. It's not Elliott Waves related. Or maybe even during the weekend, who knows, to create a bigger range. But I would love to hit resistance and move down, faking out the breakout traders that are going to move the breakout of all-time highs. Fake them out here, grab the liquidity, drag it down, make them stop out, and then move up next week, or whatever. That would be better, in my opinion. That's what I'm looking for. Now, the bearish scenario in this range here would be that we are looking for a bigger move to the downside, right? Invalidated, fully invalidated if we take the high. If we look for an A, B, C, it already has lower probabilities as mentioned in the videos. But also, wave Y, this is your target area. So, okay, kind of expected, but preferably your wave C inside wave Y. Let me remove all this stuff. Preferably your wave C inside wave Y. So you're looking for zigzag, flat, flat. Preferably this was your high, because now we made a new high after the 2 fib time, taken from the start of A to the end of B. And that significantly lowers the probabilities this move up is a wave C of a flat in an ABC. So yeah, it's a low probability scenario and not one I want to have on my chart. I then prefer to look for new stuff. So that is also what I'm going to do probably tomorrow morning, looking at some bearish scenarios. But at the moment, probability-wise, probabilities are higher to look for an impulse here to the upside. And the only way to count that bearish would be to count it as a wave C. Or alternatively, we need a W, X, and a Y. But now we took this high here, so would like a little bit more upside. So yeah. So with regards to the probabilities, because I got to move. Yeah, thanks, Mark. So, because I have a festival with friends. So the probabilities of this morning remain the same, where on the weekly time frame, probabilities are higher for the bulls. On the daily time frame, also higher for the bullish scenarios, or at least taking out 72K also on this chart. On the 4-hour time frame, probabilities also higher, which is this structure here to look for bullish scenarios. On the 1 hour though, looking at this structure to the upside, the puff is like disappearing a little bit, right? We're starting to move sideways. I would like to take the double top, maybe hit resistance, but starting to look for a bit of a retracement to the downside. And if the retracement is a nice corrective structure that is bullish, we're going to look for price to move up. We know the area of support as well. If the move to the downside is very impulsive, no interest, but it has lower probabilities at the moment. No, moving up to resistance, I want to see proof of resistance. I want to see resistance holding, interesting for a short to then short the retracement to the downside. You know what I'm looking for? I have covered the 2 bullish scenarios, and I will present you soon with a bearish scenario. Likely we're going to talk about flats in that case for then a bigger A, B, C, but the subwave structure of B is definitely not great. So I need to do a little bit more research, and we can't have a triangle in a wave A of a flat ABC. So that's something as well, right, to keep an eye on. So something I'm going to think about. Okay, cheers everyone. Thanks for being here. Sorry for the short stream. Giveaway winners, all your packages are delivered. Tomorrow is a new tomorrow's not a new live stream, but a video in the morning and a live stream probably in the evening. I gotta go. I look forward to spending some time with my friends now. Short and sweet, to the point and concise, what we like to do. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you at the next one.